let's analyze these polynomial functions a little bit more. We have a rule from the famous Descartes. He has a rule of signs, and it actually gives you information about how many positive real roots you could have and how many negative real roots you could have. And remember, these are all possibilities. So I'm going to show you how to find them, and we'll go from there. So starting off with the number of positive real roots, we're always going to look at the sign changes of the terms of our original polynomial p of x. And by sign changes, we are meaning that if we are in descending order, we're just going to view the signs of each of the terms and figure out where we see a change from positive to negative or negative to positive. So we're going to take a look at that right now. I'm looking at x to the 5th. So we still have positive. Plus 8x to the 4th, still positive term, so I'm just kind of making sure. Plus 20x cubed, so no sign change yet. Plus 10x squared, but now we have minus 21x and minus 18. So right away in p of x, if you notice, you only have one instance of going from positive to negative. So that is one sign change. And so what that tells us, that the number of positive real roots of p of x, therefore, I'll restate it. So positive real roots of p of x would just be 1. So we do know if we end up finding it, we don't have to look for any more positive roots. So that's good to know. Now, if we want to take a look at understanding how many negative real roots we could have, here we would look at the sign changes of p of negative x. So the first thing we would have to do for ourselves is compute p of negative x. So I'll kind of write that out and take your time on this. It really does help to go slower so you can really get the idea. So we should have negative x to the 5th plus 8 times negative x to the 4th plus 20 times negative x cubed plus 10 times negative x squared minus 21 times negative x and minus 18. Now, once you plug in negative x, or everywhere you see x, you will use your concept of understanding when you have a negative number taken to an odd power, what's the sign of the term. So we'll start off with simplifying this. We should have negative x to the 5th will end up being negative x to the 5th. Nothing's changed there. Now negative x to the 4th, nothing happens. The sign will still be positive when you multiply out all these x's. Negative x to the 3rd ends up being negative x to the 3rd. Negative x squared becomes positive x squared. Negative 21 times negative x becomes positive 21x, and then there's minus 18. So let's clean this up just a little bit. I do have negative x to the 5th still, plus 8x to the 4th, minus 20x cubed, so positive times negative, plus 10x squared, plus 21x minus 18. So now we have a cleaned up version of p of negative x. What I'm going to do for myself is just kind of observe the signs as I jump from term to term. Everything's still in descending order, so we are in good shape. So negative x to the 5th, that's negative. Positive 8x to the 4th, that's positive. negative 20x cubed, negative, positive 10x squared, positive 21x, and negative 18. So I do see a lot of pluses and minuses, so I'm going to take great care to try to help myself understand this. So I start off with going from negative to positive. That's one sign change. Then I go from positive to negative. That's two sign changes. Then I go from negative to positive. That's three sign changes. Nothing's happening until the very end. I go from positive to negative. That's four sign changes. So therefore, the number of negative real roots, so negative real roots of p of x, remember that gives you information about the original polynomial, is either, so we can always start off with 4. So that's the first idea. And the idea is we keep subtracting off 2 until we get to something that wouldn't make sense. So we have 4, or 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2, or 2 minus 2, which is equal to 0. So we have three possibilities. We have 4 negative real roots, 2 real negative roots, or 0 real negative roots. So keep in mind, whenever we're using this Descartes rule of signs, whatever number you get, keep subtracting off 2 till it's impossible to find a positive or 0 answer, and you will have all your possibilities.